I'm going to be answering some of your manifestation questions. And one of them I got was, how comes when I'm living in the end and I'm thinking good thoughts about the things I want, the opposite happens? This question comes up quite a lot, actually, and it's quite normal. So for me, when that happens, I'm just like, that's just old story playing out still. Don't let the opposite happening make you feel like you're doing something wrong or you need to do more, or, panic and think, oh my God, have I done something wrong? All you have to do is decide what you want, persist in the assumption you have it, and keep doing that and keep thinking that. And obviously work on your self-concept. The story of you is important. But just because the opposite's happening doesn't mean you've done something wrong. Or we don't want to assume as well, because some people have this assumption, like when they start thinking well of themselves, they're not going to get what they want, especially their SP. They're like, oh, but if I focus on me, I'm not going to get my SP. But you are, because you've already decided your SP is your SP. They're yours, you're with them. But when you focus on your self-concept, that's just you deciding to, change the way you think about yourself and the beliefs you hold about yourself, which you are the most important person in your reality, because everyone, including your SP, is reflecting you. So when the opposite's happening, don't look at that as something wrong. Don't look at that as something bad. Don't look at that as something opposite, even if that's what it seems like. And you've just got to understand that everyone goes through the same thing. Everyone goes through it. This donut had hardly any custard in it. Fuming. Basically just roll. Okay, so when the opposite's happening, don't look at it and tell yourself, oh my God, the opposite's happening, and panic and flip out and react and whatever. If you've done those things, don't worry. Just decide, everything's working out for me. That's happening for me. Take your focus off it. Just live in the end. Just keep going. If you persist in your something, you've got to think, if you've been thinking shitty thoughts all your life about yourself, like I'm not good enough, I'm a piece of shit, and then you start thinking good thoughts, and you might have little glimmers of your new story play out, but then it goes back to old story again. That doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. That's just because your old story is still dominant. But as you keep thinking the new story, that new story becomes dominant. I would say you've got to persist more through those circumstances that are deemed unfavourable, because you don't want to give any awareness to them anymore, because they're meaningless. They don't mean nothing. That's old story.